Saudi's GDP growth slows to 1.1%, and Eurozone growth rebounds. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi's GDP growth slowed in Q2, expanding by 1.1% year-on-year on the back of oil production cuts and declining prices. This compares with 3.8% growth in Q1 and 11% in Q2 2022. GDP growth was driven by a 5.5% surge in non-oil economic activities and 2.7% growth in government services activities. This offset the 4.2% plunge in oil activities. Earlier this month, the IMF downgraded Saudi's growth outlook for 2023 to 1.9%, a drop of 1.2 percentage points from its earlier estimate. Saudi's First Mill's first half net profit dropped 19% year-on-year to $28.98 million. Officials attribute a rise in interest costs on First Mill's financial statements in Q4 2022, following the merger with the parent company Al-Raha Al-Safi and the transfer of a loan to the company which was contracted by the parent company. First Mills did see a 4.5% rise in first half sales, generating revenue of $125.29 million. EBITDA was flat at $44.25 million. Adnoc is bringing its net zero emissions goal forward by 5 years to 2045, and it's committed to zero methane emissions by 2030. The latest pledge comes as it plans to expand oil production. Adnoc says its total 2022 emissions from its own operations reached 24 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. This is its first such disclosure. Adnoc says its upstream carbon intensity was around 7 kilos of carbon dioxide equivalent per barrel of oil equivalent. Renewable energy company Masdar has signed an agreement with Sita Global Berhad to develop a broad range of renewable energy projects in Malaysia, including rural off-grid initiatives. They'll jointly develop renewable energy projects across solar, battery energy storage system, wind, and other renewable energy technologies. These projects will be developed in Malaysia's Pahang state. Malaysia is targeting net zero emissions by 2050. UAE-based Aldar is investing a further $95.29 million in Aldar Education to acquire 2 schools in the UAE and 1 in Bahrain. This adds to its initial commitment of $272.25 million in its education business announced last year. The expansion increases Aldar Education's student capacity by over 6,000 seats to 58,000 seats by the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Citigroup has raised its year-end target for the S&P 500, citing a soft landing for the U.S. economy and an earnings upside. It says the S&P will end the year at 4,600 points. That's up 0.4% from Friday's close. For 2024, Citi sees the index jump to 5,000 points, 9% higher than current levels. Citi says a U.S. recession could hit in the first half of 2024, a revision from its previous forecast of a Q4 2023 recession. Economic growth in the Eurozone rebounded in Q2, but concerns remain over inflation that's slowing yet still stubbornly high and over stagnation in the German economy. Eurozone growth reached 0.3% in Q2 after recording zero growth in Q1. The figures came after data last week showed that Germany's GDP stagnated between April and June, but the French and Spanish economies grew more than expected. Eurozone core inflation now sits at 5.5%. Let's take a look now at today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily ups and downs of the world's wealthiest people. Our biggest winner today is LVMH's Bernard Arnault, up $1.9 billion with net wealth of $230.8 billion. Our second biggest winner today is battery module Robin Zhang. He's up $1.1 billion with net wealth of $34.2 billion. And our third place winner is Adani Industries Gautam Adani, up $848 million with net wealth of $54.9 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And Lamborghini says it may sell 10,000 cars this year for the first time ever as it reports solid first half results. Revenues grew 6.7% to $1.57 billion and operating income rose 7.2% to a record $503 million. Lambo sold 5,341 cars between Jan and June, up 4.9% year on year. The U.S. was its largest single market with 1,625 deliveries. Its rival Ferrari shipped more than 13,200 cars last year. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.